Welcome to immersivemath.com. We present Immersive Linear Algebra, which is a textbook in linear algebra that is completely interactive. Our secret sauce is in the figures, so let us show you that right away. This is a figure that could be in any linear algebra textbook. You have a light source and you have a triangle, and you want to see what happens with the shadow of this triangle onto this plane. What you cannot do in a typical textbook is to interact with the figure, but you could do that here. So for instance, you can press forward and you can see that not only does the figure change, also the figure text beneath here changes. So you can step by step walk through the image and see what happens. Some structures are more easily seen in 3D. So if you press this button here, which is a rotate button, you can see what happens with the figure when it rotates in 3D. Other times you might think, what if I would change the position of this particular vertex? Would it show me something more interesting? And you could do that by just moving it around, and suddenly you have perhaps a more interesting image. If you want to know what points you can interact with, you just press somewhere where there's obviously not a point, and you will see that the interactive points are marked with circles. So for instance, here you discover perhaps that this point here, which is a light source, is also interactable. Sometimes you want to see the figure from another perspective. You could do that by holding down the right mouse button while moving about. If you have a trackpad, you use two fingers and press down the trackpad, and now you could see the figure from basically any viewpoint that you want. So in this case, for instance, you want to see that the shadow is actually inside the plane, and that is very easily from this particular perspective. Not only the figures are interactive in this book, the entire text is also interactive. So for instance, if you're reading about definition 3.2 here, and you wonder what that said, you just hover your mouse above that, and definition 3.2 pops up. Another example is the word projection, which also have some hover pop-up help available. If you're a student, we hope that you will find this book fun and easy to understand. If you're a teacher, perhaps you want to project some of the interactive illustrations in class. If you're a professional, perhaps you want to freshen up your linear algebra with this book. In any case, we hope to see you at immersivemath.com.